And every man, I'm here today to expose, using my superpowers, clarity, insight, and perspective, the four most heinous plot holes in Avengers Endgame. And kind of like David Letterman, I'm going to start with the smallest hole and work my way up to the biggest, nastiest hole. The first hole is 14,604,000. No way. There's no way that I believe that Thanos, if you replay the scenario that many times, he's going to win all of them. I mean, Cat has 9 lives, but you want me to believe that Thanos has 14,604,000? We've only seen 2 of these scenarios play out. And one of them, Thanos ends up with this big Warhammer axe in his chest, just a few inches away from splitting his heart in two and killing him, right? And the second one, we see Scarlet Witch is about to tear him to shreds. But we're supposed to believe that he can go through 14,604,000 of these scenarios and never lose once. There is absolutely no way, no how. Think about this. And even in the one we see, he's just overmatched. There's just too much going on here. One of the things that didn't happen was Thor has the power of the Bifrost now. So he could have just put Thanos on the surface of the moon. I don't know if he can breathe in outer space. I don't think so. So he puts him out there, and Captain Marvel follows him on up there and just kills him. So if I can see that, you're going to tell me that Doctor Strange can't see it? Because that's impossible for me to believe. It's absolutely impossible. But anyway, it's a huge plot hole, and I think that the more you think about it, the more you know that the combined forces of all these heroes, there's no way you could overcome all that. The second plot hole is number 3. Steve Rogers on the bench. Now let me put it this way, it sums it all up. Steve Rogers on the bench. They set out this view of time travel where alternate universes are created and where the past can't affect the present. Well, if that's true, okay, Steve Rogers can go back and live with Agent Carter, but he can't reappear in that same timeline, according to them. There's no way. He creates an alternate timeline. In fact, the way this works, every instant they travel back in time, because of the butterfly effect where a small change is going to make a big ripple, every instant they're creating like an infinite number. Every instant they're there, they create an infinite number of alternate realities when they're there. So this is a huge plot hole. Steve Rogers can't just show up again, because he's created this alternate universe where he can't be there. So you can't have sort of this Back to the Future as a joke they try to act like, and then have him sitting there, which they did, which was ridiculous. In fact, every time they go back, they're creating these alternate universes, and you could argue that they're taking events in the past and making them affect the present. That's their whole scheme, which contradicts what they said to begin with. So their whole time travel scenario and how they play it out, it's a huge plot hole. Number 2, one that I've noticed that I haven't heard talked about, one I think is a huge one. They send Steve Rogers back with all these stones, and he's supposed to put them back in their proper timeline. Now, all of them pretty much, I guess, I could see him do, but there's a problem with the Power Stone. It's this. He can't just bring the stone back. It has to be in the Tesseract. And there is no way anywhere in these movies we've seen how the Tesseract was constructed. In fact, it's like this mystery. It's like this ancient mystery nobody knows. So Steve Rogers going back with the Power Stone is not going to work, because he has to put it back in that lab where Howard Stark is. Now, how he's going to do that, I don't know, because it's cut open. So we're talking about even more alternate universes, because when Hank Pym sees that those particles are gone out of those vials, that's going to create an alternate universe. Okay, even if they return the Power Stone, which he can't do, like I said, because he can't reconstruct the Tesseract. If he sees that vault cut open like that, that causes changes too. So the whole thing that they can, in general, that they can just put these stones back and nothing's going to change is not right. But especially this one, because the Tesseract has to be there and he doesn't have it. And the last one, number 1, the biggest one, is the Strange intervention. I look at this movie, and Doctor Strange has already viewed supposedly all these different 14,604,000 where they all lose, which I already said I don't believe. So the 605th is supposed to be their winning scenario, except that he's intervening here. He's doing all kinds of stuff. This isn't naturally unfolding. He's opening up all these holes. Apparently, all these portals have like an infinite range to them, which I didn't think was true, but he's taking people off Titan and such and just setting them right here on Earth. But somehow he couldn't use that to make a difference, just to kill Thanos. I mean, can't he just evacuate everyone, for example? If he knows this is coming, why not show up on Earth right after the snap and just evacuate the Hulk with the glove or everybody in the facility? Just evacuate them out, and then Thanos like bombs a place and it blows up and nobody's in there. Then they go somewhere else and snap and get rid of him or whatever they want to do. But somehow Doctor Strange is supposed to believe all he can do is bring all these people in and fight just a regular battle. And that didn't make any sense. There's all kinds of ways Strange could have intervened except open these portals. And he's too shifty, too crafty, too intelligent not to come up with something. Think about the mirror universe. Remember how he put those villains in the mirror universe in his movie? But somehow we're supposed to not realize that he has all these powers. You know, he conveniently doesn't attack Thanos. He doesn't grab a hold of any of him with those bands that he shot out at him. He doesn't do anything. He just plays with the water and watches. And so we're supposed to believe that he's gonna hold up his finger, and this is gonna make Stark make this sacrifice. But he could have done all kinds of other stuff. I mean, if he's not limited to this, if he's viewed all those different scenarios, why can't he view like 10 more where he does something different? It just doesn't make sense. Well, like, subscribe, and share. Tell me what you think about this list of plot holes. I'm sure there's more. But these are the most heinous, gaping ones I saw.